In this training course, we're going to return to the gear lists tool and look at a very specific use, which is that of bulk inspections. This is a really important tool because it will help you to much more rapidly, effectively, efficiently create inspection records. If you haven't already seen our video on the general use of gear lists, what they're for, what their options are, it's worth watching that video first to get a general sense of how the gear list tools work. Assuming you've seen that though, let's dive in and have a look at bulk inspections. On the Tools menu, let's head over to Gear Lists. You'll recall, if you've seen our previous training video on gear lists, that we generally have two ways that lists are used. The first is everything on the list is the same, and that's to facilitate bulk inspections, or because we keep them all together in the same place. So the example here would be a bunch of helmets all stacked together, stored together, and we're going to inspect them together. And then the second type of list would be where all the things on the list are different from each other, but they have a coherent purpose together. So for example, a pre-built bag of rescue equipment, a paramedic's first response bag, a crag bag with all sorts of different climbing equipment in it. So different inspection intervals, different types of categories of equipment, but all managed together on the same list and inspected together because they have a coherent purpose together. It doesn't matter which type of lists those are, whether it's all the same on it or different categories, the inspect tool works identically. Let's create ourselves a list for the purposes of this training session. So we'll create a new list. Do see our other training video on gear lists for an understanding of all the other things that you can do with lists and what some of those options do. For now, we'll just create a simple list and we'll pop some equipment onto it. Bear in mind, you can add things to lists from the equipment itself. You can do it using a bulk action. You can scan using barcode and QR code. And those options are all mentioned in our training video on gear lists. We'll just hit plus here and arbitrarily add some pieces of equipment onto this list. So what we'll do is we'll grab the first 5 helmets that we can see here and just pop those on the list, just to give us something to work with during this training video. So we've created a list and we have got 5 pieces of equipment on it. Of those, 4 of them are in a currently good state and 1, last time it was inspected, was quarantined. Let's say we're going to do a bulk inspection on that. And you would probably have 50, 60, 100, 200 items on your list. We're just using a small number just to help you understand how the tool works. To do a bulk inspection on a list, we're going to hit the I up here on the list level. And really what we want this tool to do with you is to help you focus on taking the time to create a higher quality failure record and have the system automatically generate the success records for you. So let's hit the I to get started. It'll guide us through the inspection in one of 2 ways, and you can choose whichever feels most relevant. Inspect one at a time is, as it says on the tin, you're going to be guided by the list to check each piece of equipment. Do you still have it? Is it still in date? Is it still fit for purpose? Does it pass inspection? And to record those inspections one at a time. Bulk inspect is really useful when you're generally dealing with a whole load of the same type of equipment and you're quite competent to check it yourself. You check through them all, you want 100 of them to pass and 1 of them to fail. And in that situation, the bulk inspect is the right way to go. And it's generally obvious to you. If you don't really know what's in the list or its current status, it's probably good to go inspect 1 at a time and audit it. When you know exactly what it is that you're checking, and you may even have already done that inspection and pulled out the bad items, then bulk inspect is the one to go for. Let's go bulk inspect now for the purposes of this training course. Hit bulk inspect, and really what it wants us to focus on is filling in the inspection failures. So which ones of all the helmets we just looked at did not pass. So hit record inspection failures. It's going to jump us through. There were 5 items on our list, so we've got 5 to inspect. It's telling us which list we are inspecting and gives us some useful information. Specifically telling us also that if we want to, we can search by serial number as well to find particular pieces of equipment without having to scroll up and down looking for them. Let's take for this example that all the equipment passed, apart from one particular one didn't pass muster. So what we have to do this one is we'll search for it by serial number to find it. Platform pulls it up for us. It's one of those 5 helmets. Last time it was quarantined. This time it's actually missing. We don't seem to have this helmet at all. So what we'll do is we're going to click the eye on it and we're taking the time now to fail this record. So we'll say actually passing it with a failure and missing is the status we're going to give to it. It will automatically default to your user's name and inspection dates, next inspection periods, etc., etc. And then we're going to save the inspection record. So what we did there was save a record for the first one that we looked at. It's disappeared from the screen because we've done it. It doesn't mean the equipment's been deleted, it's just hidden because we've inspected it. We see we've got 4 still to do, and we're working our way through the list. All the rest of them, the other 4, you might have 40 or 50 or 60, all passed inspection. So we don't need to go through those one at a time, marking that they're okay. All we need to do is click Pass All. This will return us back to the list page. It'll say that we are doing an inspection. We're going to return it to the last status as it was last time, generally good, or monitor. It will default to your user's name. All the equipment is there, pre-ticked. It's telling us there are 4 still to do. That makes sense because we had 1 that we marked as being missing, and we'd like to pass all those other 4. And we save the inspection record. So now back on our list, what we find is that we've got the 1 item we marked as missing, we've got 4 that were marked as good, and if we were to dive into one of those records and have a look, we'd be able to see that inspection record for today with a pass mark on it. So that's a very, very efficient way to take the time to fail a particular record or records and to bulk pass a large number of successful records. And of course, the other way that you could have done that is to do them one at a time. And that works very, very similarly. You simply don't have that pass all at the end. You're just going to go through the items one by one, inspecting them one after another until you've finished. Just to remind you where that is though, when you inspect it, in that situation, you would go one at a time. And then you're going to take the time to create an inspection record for every single asset. Hopefully that's shown you how you can use the GearLists tool in combination with inspection to create a rapid inspection process, particularly when large amounts of your equipment is expected to pass and you're competent to check it. Do have a look at our other tool on GearLists for a wider understanding of that very useful tool and all the other things that you can do with GearLists. But hopefully that's been useful for you.